Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today we have 100% confirmation that more DLC content is on the horizon for Battlefield 4. This all may sound very familiar to you because a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this very topic. A DICE employee tweeted out that they were going to be bringing more DLC content to the game, but we were going to learn more about it after Battlefest. Battlefest has come and gone, the 9th has arrived, and the announcement that he was talking about was apparently an official announcement on Battlelog that they were going to be bringing more DLC content. And while I know a few of us were a little disappointed that they weren't going to be going into any more details, at the very end of that announcement, they gave us a survey, a huge survey, wanting to know what maps we would like to see remastered into Battlefield 4 from the entire Battlefield franchise. The survey has given us the option to pick maps all the way back from Battlefield 1942 all the way to Battlefield 3 and then everything in between. When I saw the survey, my eyes lit up because honestly, just the fact that they are giving players in the community the option to select from this huge array of different maps from the entire Battlefield franchise is pretty incredible. All that being said though, we still do not have 100% confirmation that DICE is going to be creating new maps. All we know right now is that more content is going to be added into Battlefield 4. That could be new knives, that could be more battle packs, no more double XP weekends. All of this is classified as content, and that could be what they're talking about. But the fact that a while back, I think it's been about a month now, they were asking us what maps we would like to see from Battlefield 3 remastered into Battlefield 4, what new weapons we would like to see in a future DLC, the fact that they've been playing Battlefield 3 but can't talk about the reasons why they have been playing Battlefield 3 recently over the last couple of months, and then this survey, in my opinion, the final nail in the coffin, this wide array of different maps to choose from, it paints a very clear picture, at least in my mind, that DICE has every intention of bringing new maps into Battlefield 4. Just my 2 cents though. And so for today, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about some of the ones that I would like to see reintroduced. I thought that this would be something fun to talk about, reminisce about some of the maps that were phenomenal in the past Battlefield games. And the first one comes from Bad Company 2. That has to be Arica Harbor. This was a conquest map that, in my opinion, defined Bad Company 2 with its destruction. Basically every building, I think except for like the construction buildings that were on the lower section of the map, were fully destructible. You were getting tired of a recon pestering you in one of the buildings? Well, fire a couple of rockets in his direction, blow open the wall, and no longer will he have that awesome cover. And if you want to go full out, you really do not want him in that building, you can take out all the supporting structures and bring that building down to the ground. Granted, by the end of the match, the entire map was full of rubbled buildings. Like everything was down on the ground. But even still, just because of the way that the map was laid out, it had 3 different levels to it. It had that top section, the middle street, and the lower construction buildings. It still flowed very nicely, and it didn't just feel like you had no cover at all, simply because of the way that the map was designed. The problem with it, though, and it's no fault of Arica Harbor, is that it was designed with smaller player counts in mind. 24 to 32 was the maximum that you could have on PC, and as we all know, for Battlefield 4, 64 players is standard. And if you slap 64 people onto Arica Harbor back in the day, it would ruin the map. Everything would be destroyed in half a second. It would not be the gameplay that we remembered and enjoyed back in the day. And so I don't know how DICE would be able to work around this issue. Maybe they could just restrict the map to only allowing for 32 people. Like that's the maximum that you could have if you wanted to play on that map. That would be one way to work around it. But if they were able to work their magic, I think that that would be a phenomenal addition into the game. The next one I wanted to talk about quickly is another classic from Bad Company 2, and that was Valparaiso. We do not have a lot of great rush maps in Battlefield 4. I gotta give a tip of the hat to DICE because they did go through all the classic rush maps and improve them significantly. Like, they are a lot better than they were when the game first launched, but even still, there was just something magical about pretty much all of the rush maps back in Bad Company 2 because a lot of them were designed with it entirely in mind. I don't think there is any other game mode that you can play on Valparaiso than Rush. It was solely designed with that game mode, and the result of it was phenomenal combat. And while we would still have the problem like Arica Harbor does, where it just could not accommodate 64 players, I would love to have more maps that were just solely designed with Rush in mind. I love Rush. It's a shame that there are hardly any servers running in Battlefield 4 because, in my opinion, at least back in Bad Company 2, it was one of my favorite game modes, and I really do miss that type of gameplay. The next one on my list easily has to go to Strike at Karkand. If they make more content and this is not a part of the DLC, I'm gonna cry. It's as simple as that, because I truly do believe that this map is a masterpiece. Every section of it is fun. It all works independently of it. It has plenty of flanking routes, not too many where you're getting constantly bombarded from angles that you can't expect. If you understand Strike at Karkand, you can have just some of the best matches that you will experience in the Battlefield franchise. Didn't matter if you're playing Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, everything in between. If this map was in those games, in my eyes, it was one of the best maps for that game. Period. That's how much I loved it. And so while I know that some people will be like, well, why don't you just go back and play Battlefield 3 then if you enjoyed it so much? I would agree with you, and I would be doing that right now, but trying to find a server, because of course Battlefield 3 isn't as popular anymore, most people have gravitated on over into Battlefield 4, trying to find a Strike at Karkand server is nearly impossible unless you want to play with like 4 or 6 people. That's not what I'm looking for. And so it's for that very reason why I would love if they remastered it into the current game, because I truly do think that it is a masterpiece. The last one that I wanted to talk about for today is Dragon's Valley. It's been a long time since I played Battlefield 2, and maybe I'm just looking through this with nostalgia goggles and that's swaying my viewpoint, but if I remember, this was my favorite large-scale map back in the day. It had a really interesting map layout. If you wanted to play as an infantry, you could do that. It had some great infantry sections to it, but the name of the game for it was, of course, just vehicles driving around and flying everywhere. And so, in my mind, I would love to see this remastered with a Frostbite engine. I think that with modern day graphics, it would just look phenomenal. And if I had to pick, at least from the large scale maps, Dragon Valley would be my top pick. But I'd like to know what maps you would like to see added into the game. There is a wide selection here. I'll leave this survey down below. This apparently is the direct line to DICE, the direct indication of what maps we can choose from. And I'm crossing my fingers that this isn't just all for show. If you guys remember with the Second Assault DLC, DICE asked the community what maps we would choose for that expansion pack. Of course, a lot of people voted for Operation Metro. That was basically guaranteed. But a lot of people were surprised when Oman and Firestorm popped up. Oman apparently was a fan favorite of console, and so I guess I can see where that one was chosen. But Firestorm? Firestorm came out of nowhere, and a lot of people, a lot of my friends, and I'm assuming a lot of you guys, were speculating that they probably had a few of these maps already in development. They wanted to show off the fire effects for Firestorm, and so like, yeah, this one maybe wasn't the top rated, and so we added it into the game anyways. And so I'm hoping that's not the way that they are approaching the survey. Maybe I'm just being too cynical. Maybe I have my tinfoil hat on, but it would be great if they do take this survey to hearts. They are really going to be picking the top picks from the community and creating them into Battlefield 4. It would be incredible. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and so until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.